best I ever had. You're the best I ever had. The best I ever had. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm kind of doing a 180 from the last video that I did. Today I'm doing a huge book haul. If you guys didn't know, I am really into reading. I read a lot. I have a big stack of books next to me, as you guys saw in the thumbnail. I've been to Barnes & Noble a couple times in the last couple of weeks, and I have a lot of books to share with you guys. Barnes & Noble is one of my favorite places to go. So yeah, this is a book haul. I don't really know what else to say. I will link my Goodreads down below and also my Likewise down below. They're both book recommendation apps, if you guys didn't know that. So if you guys want to follow me on my reading journey and see what I'm reading, follow me on there. Let's get into it. First off, this isn't a book, but it's a book related thing. So I got a pack of 2 of these. These are bookends, but they're they go right against the book, so I can put as many books on my shelf and also have decorations. Because right now I have these pineapple ones, which I like, but they just take up a lot of room, so I wanted ones that didn't take up a lot of room. And I got those off of Amazon, a 2-pack for $8. I've read some of them, and most of them I haven't read. So if I have read them, I'll tell you my rating and all that stuff. So the first book I'm going to talk about is actually my current read. So this is the one I'm reading currently. This is Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi. This is part of a series. I think it's a series. It might be a trilogy, but I'm not sure. This is the first book in this series, and I bought it thinking that I would only want to read the first one, but I'm already 5 chapters in, and I'm already obsessed with it, so I might have to read the rest of this series. It's about this girl named Juliet. She has this power where if she touches somebody, they die, and so she's scared that if she touches anyone, they'll die, and then she gets taken away from her parents when she's around 10 or 11, and she gets taken to this government facility. It's an asylum of sorts. She stays there for a really long time, and she's isolated and kind of miserable. All of a sudden they give her a cellmate, and he's this guy named Adam. She can touch him and nothing happens. It's kind of a really powerful heroine book. She learns how to use her power, control it and use it for good. And it's post-apocalyptic. It's described as a dystopian novel, so I think it'll be good. Look on my Goodreads to see what I actually give it when I stop reading it. So the next book is actually a book that I've already read. This is The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. So this is a dark academia book. This was the first ever dark academia book I've ever read. Okay, so I was kind of confused while reading this, so hopefully my explanation is good. It's about this library that was destroyed, but it wasn't actually destroyed because it's protected by magic. And so this society gets formed called the Alexandrian Society, who protects the archives and all the research and stuff. Every 5 years, a group of 6 people who are called medians, but they're magicians who are the best of their class, super rare magic, get chosen, and only 5 of them get initiated into... My air conditioning just came on. I'm sorry, guys. Get initiated into the society, and it's a competition, and there's some elements of romance, and I really liked it. I was a little confused for the first 100 pages, but once it clicked, I got very into it, and it was a pretty long read. So if you guys are looking for a more informational book, it's not informational, it's just a more complicated book, then I would recommend this one. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. The next book is the last book that I have read, and It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I went into this thinking that it was going to be completely different. I thought it was going to be The Fault in Our Stars type of vibes, because everyone's oh, you're going to cry, you're going to cry while reading this book, and I don't cry while reading books, so I was okay, this is going to make me cry. And it didn't. I was completely blindsided by what it is about. So it's about this girl named Lily. She's had a really bad childhood, and she all she wanted to do was get away from home, so she moved to Boston, and she meets this guy named Ryle. He's a neurosurgeon, and they have this new romance, and then all of a sudden her first love, Atlas, comes into the picture, and all this stuff. Just look up the trigger warnings on this before you read it, because I was completely blindsided and it caused me to not enjoy the book at all. Colleen Hoover's writing is beautiful, but I was it just kind of ruined the book for me because of what it's about. I'll put the trigger warnings on the screen. So yeah, I gave this a 1 out of 5 stars, which I know is very shocking because everyone loves this book, but I just don't like reading about what this book was about, and it kind of disappointed me. So yeah, 1 out of 5 stars. So the next book on my TBR list is Beach Read by Emily Henry. This book is, again, super famous, but it's definitely more of a light romance novel than It Ends With Us. So this is about a girl named January. She is a writer, and her dad recently dies, and so she goes to his beach house, and she discovers, like, all these secrets about her dad, and, like, kind of gets blindsided by this whole other life that he had, basically. And meanwhile, she's having writer's block. She's a romance writer, and when she goes to the beach house, she realizes that the person who lives next door is this guy named Augustus, who they were rivals in college. Like, they were both writers, and they were rivals in college, and I think that he writes science fiction. I'm not exactly sure. Either science fiction or historical fiction. Anyways, they're both in writer's block, and so they decide to switch genres and write each other's books. So she has to write science fiction, he has to write romance novels, and they have to go on these, like, little dates of sorts, or, like, outings, to get information for each of the books, and they end up, like, spending a lot of time together and falling in love. I haven't read this one yet, but I've heard so many great things about it, and everyone really likes Emily Henry. If you guys didn't know, she also wrote People We Meet on Vacation, which is also very famous, and I'm very excited to read this. This is the next book I'm going to read after Shatter Me. So the next books that I bought are all in the same series. I got 4 books from the Selection series. So I got the Selection, the Elite, the One, and the Crown. They didn't have the Heir at Barnes & Noble, which is the 4th book in the series, but so I'm gonna order that one online. This is about a girl named America Singer. She gets selected to be one of the 35 girls who are in the Selection, and they are in a competition to win the crown and to win being the wife of Prince Maxon. America goes into this being like, I didn't want to be selected, I don't want to be here, because she has, like, a secret boyfriend who she, like, doesn't want to leave and doesn't want to, like, go do this. And then she meets Maxon, and let's just say her opinions start to change. I've heard that this book is really great. It has a really big cult following, and I haven't read, like, a royalty type book like this, so I'm very excited. And all of these books are under 300 pages, so I will speed through this series. I just need to get the Heir and we'll be good. If you guys have read any of these books, comment down below what you guys thought. And also comment down below any other book recommendations that are in this video. So the next 3 books I got today along with these books from the Selection series. So the next book is a book called Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. So this book is really famous on TikTok. A lot of these books are really famous on TikTok. So this is about a witch and a witch hunter, and apparently, like, they fall in love. I'm not really sure. It says bound as one to love, honor, or burn. A witch hunter and a witch and a witch hunter thrust into holy matrimony. There's only one way such a story could end: a stake in a match. I am very excited. I think this is part of a trilogy because they were all together and they all had, like, similar looking covers. I'm very excited. I looked up when I was at Barnes & Noble, I looked on my phone, like, enemies to lovers fantasy books, and this came up, and I've always wanted to read the trope, like, he's supposed to kill her but ends up falling in love with her, and I think that's what this is going to be. Again, look on my Goodreads to see if that's actually what it is, but I'm really excited to read this. Fantasy is my favorite genre. Oh my gosh, my stack fell. Fantasy is my favorite genre, if you couldn't tell. Okay, so the second to last book I got is Wayward Son, which is the 2nd book in the Simon Snow trilogy. This is the first book. Carry On is the first book, and I read this. So these, like, go together. They just, Rainbow Rowell just came out with the 3rd book in this trilogy, and I saw it at Barnes & Noble, and I almost got it, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna wait. There are other books I want to read before this. This is the special night edition, which you can only get at Barnes & Noble, and I was so happy when I saw it because I went in wanting this edition, and at first I didn't see it, and then I saw it, and I was very excited. So the original cover is yellow. I'll put a picture of it right here. And I really wanted this one because I feel like it went with the other book better. And I'm so excited. And this one also comes with special like illustrations. Oh, the artwork for this series or trilogy is so good. Chris Anka does all of the artwork, I believe, and so beautiful artwork, which is my favorite. Oh, it's so beautiful. So I'm very excited. I loved Carry On. It was so good. I gave that a 4 out of 5, which is very good for me, by the way. I don't have very many 5-star books, so I'm very excited to read this. And then the last book that I got, and probably the book I'm most excited for, honestly, is King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. First of all, look at this cover. It's so beautiful. They just like redid the Shadow and Bone and this cover. I am so excited to read this. So if you guys didn't know, Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom are some of my favorite books of all time. Crooked Kingdom, which I have right up here, is my favorite book of all time. It is so good, and I love Leigh Bardugo's writing so much. I didn't read the Shadow and Bone trilogy, but I watched the show, like the first season of the show, after I read these. So you guys don't have to read Shadow and Bone, like the trilogy. I'll just leave it like that, because I've heard it's not the best, so I didn't want to like waste my time and money on that. But this is all about King Nikolai, and if you guys read Shadow and Bone, you would probably know more about him. He is in Crooked Kingdom a little bit, but I'm so excited to read this because my friend is so obsessed with King Nikolai, and I need to see what the hype is about. This is a duology. Rule of Wolves is the second book. I didn't get it because I try when I read a series, except for The Selection, because I know I'm gonna like that one. I try to like only get one book at a time because if I don't like it, then I don't want to be stuck with the other book, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm very excited to read this. Leigh Bardugo's writing is some of my favorite. I think she's my favorite author, honestly, and she writes so well, and I'm very excited to read more of the Grishaverse because I am not ready to let go of it, and I need to read more about it. So, this takes place after Crooked Kingdom. Like, they go in order. So, it's Shadow and Bone, Six of Crows duology, and then King of Scars duology, so if you guys wanted to know. I'm so excited. So, yeah, that's all my books. I'm a very book obsessed, as you guys can tell. I'm so excited to read these books. Again, if you guys want to like keep up with my books, you can check out my Goodreads, or if you guys like book videos, I can make like monthly book videos, like all of the books I read in a month. I'm starting to like get more video ideas, so expect some more videos. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!